Fred McCray Junior is the Senior Director for Humanitarian Assistance over at Corus, and he joins us now from Antakya in Hatay. Fred, good to see you. Your team was previously in Adana, and now you are in Hatay. And I'm asking you this because so many people that have visited various cities across this quake-hit region are telling us that the situation in Hatay is just so much worse. Is that your impression as well?
It is. We saw damage in Adana, but we've been in Hatay, in Antakya for the past couple of days, and the devastation here is unlike anything that I've ever seen. So many buildings have been razed completely to the ground, and then the buildings that are still standing are so heavily damaged that many of them will have to be knocked down and rebuilt. I've been an aid worker for over 20 years, and I've never seen this level of damage and destruction.
Fred, as the needs on the ground are changing, as this operation sort of shifts from a search and rescue, from an emergency response to this phase of recovery, I'm assuming this presents a set of changes as well as challenges. How is your team dealing with this?
You're right. It does present challenges because as the situation progresses, the needs change. So for the first phase, we've been focusing on working with our local partners to distribute relief supplies such as tents, hygiene products, quilts, winter clothes, to help people to meet their immediate physical needs. As the situation unfolds and time goes on and hopefully things stabilize, we'll be looking at helping communities and families move into transitional semi-permanent housing, helping them to access basic services such as health care. Right now, in spite of all of the efforts of the government and of all of the local partners and international partners, it still remains a problem. So we will be looking towards that in the next phase, as well as helping people rebuild their livelihoods. So many people have lost their not only their homes, their loved ones, but they've also loved their way of life. I apologize, it just got dark. It's because there's no electricity here. Everything is just on generators, so hence the darkness.
Yeah. Fred, let me ask you, over the past 2.5 weeks, I've spoken to various psychologists, and I think one issue that they have all underlined, sort of like the common denominator in terms of the survivors and how they're dealing with this deep trauma, is they need to return to some sort of normalcy, retain their livelihoods. And this is a critical phase, as you just mentioned, in the coming months, to actually get some sort of normalcy into whether it's going down the street to the store to buy some groceries, or maybe children being able to get some sort of education, just get back into some routine. What is your team doing in terms of that, or hoping to do when it comes to that?
So we'll be working with our local partners to provide psychosocial counseling to affected households, and then we'll also be working to help families and communities reestablish their livelihoods. In other disaster situations, we've helped affected populations start small businesses, small enterprises. We've done vocational training to give people new skills if possible. We've also been able to support the relaunch of small enterprises as well. But what you're saying about the need for normalcy is definitely true. You can see that in the fact that even now people are staying in tents in front of their damaged or collapsed houses because they want to close to what they want to them. And so that desire for normalcy is extremely strong.
We'd like to apologize to our viewers. We had a slight interruption, but Fred is actually joining us under extremely difficult conditions. Fred McCray Jr., thank you very much for joining us here on TRT. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.